Welcome, everybody. So, I am not the biggest Exorcist watcher. I never seen any of the other movies except for the original. I watched the original one a couple weeks ago. I only seen the film 3 times altogether, and it really, really hit me this watch around. Just how amazing that film was, how scary it was, how well directed, edited, shot, acted, sins, all that was the powerful emotional tug from Ellen Berkowitz and Linda Blair. Linda Blair, her name stuck with me for a second. Like their powerful connection through the whole film. Fear, the idea that you can't save your child from something you can't even see. I don't know, it really hit me just how amazing that movie was this last watch around. And this film does not compare to any way whatsoever. Alright, so David Gordon Green. David Gordon Green. We love David Gordon Green. Uh we are mixed on David Gordon Green. Alright. So his Halloween trilogy just got so much love and equal amounts of hate. Halloween 2018. Loved it. Halloween Kills. And not the best story, but when it comes to the kills and showing how much of a menace Michael is, his evil, great. Halloween Ends. I actually like the film. I really love it in its entirety. It just was not a good film in a trilogy on. It wasn't. I agree with most people why it's a good film. But I will blatantly say it was not the film to end this trilogy on in any way whatsoever. And so as those films got more and more devices, I'm not sure why they thought getting him to do this movie was good. Yes, his name's all over the writing and story by section of the credits, but he didn't feel like he cared about this movie. This isn't like the Halloween movies where you can feel a love and passion to them. This very feels passionless. It is safe by the numbers. Like I said in my tweet, it's safe. This movie just feels safe. This feels like a bunch of people who just wanted to check wrote it. Heck, to go by today's standards, it's even worse. It feels like a bunch of Chat GP or whatever the hell they are, type a bunch of things in. Exorcist, sequel, requel, two girls possessed, divorced, a single father, religious family, or generate. That's what a movie feels like. The opening, I think the opening was actually pretty good. Like, is good for like the emotional ending for the film. It's good at developing character. I will say though, there are parts of it could have been a lot shorter because not a lot really happens. Not a lot that you really need to be in there. And then we get to the movie. First act, you meet the kids. Well, we meet the one kid and the daughter's go missing. They're searching for them. That part was very strong. That part was very powerful. I like the missing child angle. Trying to look for them. How it's kind of tearing the families apart. Second act, when the girls are possessed, they're getting worse and worse. It's very, very. What's the word? Plain, boring. Seen it before. Predictable. Seen it before. Third act. Now, the third act I actually really liked. Well, I like what they're trying to do with it. Because if you remember back in Halloween Kills, David Gordon Green's big social commentary moment that Michael, the evil, is destroying this community. Now the community has to rally together and and take away the evil's power. We gotta destroy the evil. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. A cool line that was ruined the fifth time it was said. Here though, I kinda actually like it. The idea is that, well, they said in the trailer. Well, if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the whole fucking movie. The trailer gave everything the fuck away. I'm sorry I'm being really mean and bitchy right now, but that trailer gave so much of the movie away. Why do you even watch the movie? I wanted to get the movie fair shot. I wanted it to be good. I wasted my money to go see it, where I could just waited to go on Peacock and then wait for someone to rip it off to an illegal site. Which I never watched the trailer. I basically know a movie, like it's a thing. Or how this edited someone who can make a trailer they just spoiled the whole fucking movie. I mean, I apologize. I feel I'm being a little too mad on that. Whoever did that, did the trailer. Pretty sure they were told to do it that way, and they were. Fuck your bosses. But no. So the whole thing is that they want to get all these different religions and Christian deviant sections to get together to help with the exorcism, which I know a lot of people, not a lot of religious people are going to like it because it is a very particular ritual. It has to be done a certain way. I actually did like this idea. I think it's kind of cool. It changes the exorcism subgenre horror because you got all these different people coming together, this community fighting for the lives and souls for these two children. I think it was a very touching message. It was ham-fisted in. You saw it coming a mile the freak away, but it was a lot better than Halloween Kills because it kind of goes throughout the whole film. You can see all the people being brought together to make this ordeal happen. But when it actually time for it to happen, it feels very ham-fisted. So let's mention the girls for a second. These two. Olivia O'Neill is Catherine. This lady right here. And Lita Jewett. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. As Angela. Her right here. These two little ladies are possessed of the film. And they do a good job. I mean, okay, let's The Exorcist, the original, set the standard for what all demonic possessed kids and little girls should be. It is the blueprint, example for the subgenre of horror possession films. So, as a sequel to The Exorcist, them trying to be like the original, but also kind of do their own thing, I think it kind of works. Because we get this little progression where the girls are disoriented, that they're staring off to space, they're not fully cognitive about what's happening, and then boom, the demon happens. It's actually really well acted. Now the problem comes in the timing and pacing of the film. So, remember the first act we talked about, where the girls are missing? So, the second act starts with them at the hospital, like them being dissociative about everything. Now, when we see them this next time, bam, they're already possessed. They're already acting creepy, already doing crazy things. It is literally almost right away, which is the problem when you're doing things compared to The Exorcist. What is The Exorcist is the strong emotional bonds between Reagan and her mother. We spent nearly an hour of the first film. Again, probably not a whole hour, but we spent like a good chunk of the first act with just being Reagan and her mother, getting to know them, getting to know their relationship. The whole movie, the original movie, has a lot build up to the actual possession. During that time, we get to know Reagan, we get to know her mother, we get to know their relationship together. So when Reagan starts acting all bazuzu, getting all scarred up, and showing crucifixes and you know where, it's disturbing. It's heartbreaking. It fucks with your emotions. Here, though, we don't get that time with these girls. We don't, like, as soon as the opening happens of the movie, if this is a flashback, it here happens. We get a cool little father-daughter moment with Angela here. We get that. Angela goes to school. We see her talking to another classmate. She meets with Heather. They go into the woods, and it happens. That's it. Then when they're found, good 10 minutes of them being all sensitive and crazed. Then the possession. There's no time. There's no time to care about these two little girls, except for the part that they're just two children in danger. Which, yes, you can. That's always a good thing route to go for emotional gut punch. But it's the cheap and easy route to go for emotional gut punch. You don't get to know them before they're possessed. You barely get to know their relationship with their parents. I mean, Heather, she's all throughout the whole marketing. This girl, they used her for most of the whole marketing of the movie. Whenever something dumb and creepy happened in the trailer, it was her. But the the heart of the movie and most of the movie is focused on Angela and her parent and her father. So marketing actually that's a good thing. Marketing, I didn't see that coming. I thought it was all going to be about her. But no, it was more about Angela and her dad. But that's the thing. The movie needed, like, I know a lot of people don't like old long movies, and I completely understand. But I would have been happy if the movie was like 20 minutes longer, just to have a good 20 minutes of just family moments. Longer dinner scene, a breakfast dinner, and whatever else scene with Angela getting to know her dad. We get them to know their relationship, how much they love each other, how much they trust each other. The little shakes in the relationship where Angela doesn't really trust him, doesn't really like this about him. And we need really that for Heather, because this girl has no character. We don't know anything about her before she gets possessed. That, oh yeah, she goes to church, so she kind of knows things about spirits and stuff. Like, that's nothing. That's not character development. That's not character interaction. That is nothing. We do not get to know anything about this child before she's possessed. You can kind of say with the original too, because I brought up with my review that Reagan's been seeing things and talking to Mr. Howdy before the film actually began. But here's the thing. When you go back and watch the old Exorcist, and you're trying to gauge before the first Doctor deployment, when if is Reagan possessed. It's weird. It's creepy. It calls you to question moments between Reagan and her mother. Here, though, we don't get anything like that. We don't get that because the moment the girls show up back at the hospital, we know they're possessed. We know it. I don't want to compare this all to the original movie, and really shouldn't. I should try to let it be somewhat of his own thing. But you market this as a requel. You're bringing back Chris McNeil for the film, and you want it to be judged as his own thing, which you can't. This is inherently going to be judged on how it connects to the original movie. Just like how Halloween 2018 was judged, how it connects to Halloween 78, which was really good because it felt like the original movie for the most part. It felt like how Halloween 78 would be made if it was made in 2018. But this doesn't even feel like The Exorcist. It's just standard horror schlock. This is someone who likes bad horror movies as well as good horror movies. But let's talk about Chris McNeil for a second. Now, Ellen Berkowitz, I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. Ellen Burstyn. Oh, Burstyn? My thing was something else. I'm sorry. Yeah, you seen the trailer. You've seen most of what she's in. She's only like a little bit extra in the film. And her part of the film is just very bad. So apparently she turned out all the other sequels, but only did this movie because they offered so much money and so much other money to back up this charity that she really likes. That's basically why she took this role. And it shows because it feels like she's just there. I mean, not saying she doesn't give a good performance. What she has is fine. Like, you see in the trailer, the dad, single dad, he comes up to her, they talk, he takes her to the hospital, that happens. You seen the part where, in the second trailer, where she goes into the house and talks to the demon, that happens. That's all her scenes. She has quick little snippets here and there. One, admittedly, heart-touching scene at the end, but that's about it. You see most of her performance if you just watch the trailers. I do want to mention that one scene, I would say spoiler alert, but they spoiled in the trailer, so I don't fucking care. Why should you care? So it's very much hinted at the demon in the film, or demons. Like I said, we don't really get to know anything about this child during the possession arc. It was very heavily hinted that this demon is Pazuzu, the same demon that possessed Reagan all those years ago. And there's this cool little shot where it kind of morphs Heather's body to kind of look like Reagan, the old movie, and it's an interesting effect. The little girl who's doing the makeup looks like she's wearing makeup. Like, it doesn't look really much like what's her name? Linda Blair. It's one of the better scenes in the movie, so I may need to watch it one more time. That was a decent effect. The scares in the movie are very bland and generic. So there is some cool couple of shots, like where the girl is being dragged into this water. You can see how the possession process is happening. But A lot of other parts of the movie, it's just blah, blah, blah. It's a basic shit you see in The Nun. Now there is one cool scene. Is a callback to Pazuzu face, the white face that always popped up in the original movie. Now apparently for my screening, I guess it was really good effect because I think it may happen twice. Because I heard people in the audience whispering, "Oh, what's that? What's that?" I didn't see it, but no, when I did see it, when it pops out of the camera behind the dad, like, and it's supposed to be this face, like, you just fucking missed the point. Why White Pazuzu face was so scary in the original movie? It's because it's silent. Nothing fucking happens. It comes out like this. It's weird. It's random. You don't know what's happening. It just feels like this thing, this voyeurism, is watching you, protruding on your lives, popping in and out of existence. It's not like that with this. It's not like it. It's just a dumb homage, just to be homage. It is supposed to be the same demon possessing Heather, which maybe is also the demon is possessing both girls at the same time. It seems like it's kind of hinting at that in some parts, or at least that's what I got out of it. It doesn't act like anything like the old demon, because go watch my other review of the original film. That demon wanted the possession to happen. No, it wanted the exorcism to happen. And Father Karras comes over. He's happy he came over. He's like, what a wonderful day for an exorcism. You want an exorcism? I'll gladly. When I spell you from Reagan, it would bring us together. You and Reagan? You and me, Father. Like, it wanted the exorcism. It wanted the challenge. It wanted to attack these priests in their faith. It wanted to mock the church. It reveled in their pain and struggle to force it out of Reagan. Yes, it suffered during the exorcism, but it was having a fucking blast throughout the whole goddamn thing. And that's what's so freaky and scary about it. That this thing wanted to attack the church, attack these two priests, and it tormented and abused this child for almost half a whole year just for this to happen. And that's what makes the original so freaking scary. It's why it makes the demon Pazuzu so scary. Nothing like this. Nothing like that at all. It doesn't act the same except for having a pretty good modulated voice for the girls, which is also kind of bad because you can tell it's not coming out of them. Like, I'm not really good at sound editing, but the ADR was just very, very obvious. And it was kind of like in the original too, where there's some shots you can clearly tell that's not coming out of Linda Blair's mouth, but it was a lot more subtle about it. It wasn't overly demonic all the time. It wasn't, I'm going to kill you. God played a trick on you. That wasn't very creepy or graggly. The actress did this weird freaking voice that wasn't quite feminine, wasn't quite masculine, and it was just unsettling about it. Here it's creepy to be creepy. That's all it is. Exorcist. Believer. Horrible movie. It tries a lot, doesn't succeed. David Gordon Green was not the right person for this film. It has a lot of interesting shots, some great neon scene, like the set design for like the father's house, and certain parts of the film are really, really good. Some good uses of music and sound design, but everything else, the story, the scares, how the characters are written, it's just all very bland, and you've seen it before so many times that the fact that this is supposed to be connected to The Exorcist is a shame. Chris McNeil barely does anything throughout the whole movie. You could cut her out of the movie and very little would change. The one good thing about it, I actually will say is good, is the final message about people from different backgrounds coming together for a common good. It's kind of ham-fisted, but it's the only thing I really kind of liked. It sucks. I don't want to have this much of a negative review, an opinion about a film, because I know how much hard work and love takes into making a film, and it just sucks to see that when it came to a lot of the creative heads of this picture, people at Blumhouse, David Gordon Green, the additional writers, they didn't really care. You can tell they didn't really care. I mean, two girls being possessed at the same time, that's interesting. different beliefs and people coming together to help with the exorcism. That's interesting. Everything else, it just, you can tell there was no love put into it. And this was, yeah, this way put the film is kind of heartless. The actors do their best what they can, but there's no passion, no effort. No, not effort. That's a bad word. But yeah, no passion for this picture. Yeah, that's this Exorcist Believer. If you still haven't seen it, hey, wait until this goes on Tubi, or unless you have Max, which I don't know. You watch it then, but I still say skip it. Just watch the original Exorcist if you want a really good possession film. Last I heard, David Gordon Green might not do the next two movies, and good for him. Leave those movies behind. Just go do something more interesting, more fun, something you have a personal connection to. Don't do these films that you clearly don't want to be a part of. That's all I have to say to him. Like I said, I think he's a talented director. I love most of the Halloween trilogy he did, but he needs to do something more like that. Stay away from films like The Exorcist, okay? I really hope they tuned the script for Deceiver, or where the hell next two are going to be, because if it's anything like this, it is going to do so bad. And they invested so much money just to make these movies, in the production on the film itself. I hope I hope it's not flop, but if it is, I hope this teaches them that they can't just pop a film out like this. They need to put a little more extra love and care into it. I don't care if it takes the next movie 5 years for the next movie to come out. You take those 5 fucking years and you invest into a good story, and a lot of good scares. Okay, take your time with this. Don't just rush it out. But yeah, don't see the movie in theaters. Wait for Tubi. That's all I gotta say. And if you want to see my thoughts on the other trailer, and you want to see my thoughts on the original Exorcist, it's going to be in one of these video tabs along here somewhere. Alright, guys. Have a good day. I'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.